American who? What? When? You call yourself Native Americans, yet you don't even know your tribe. Where is your tribe? What is the name of your tribe? What language do you speak, your so-called Native Americans? What language do you guys speak?
Some saying, they're staying. They're not going anywhere. That is their land. And I think it's very important for us to open up the discussion that, not all African Americans came from Africa. That is one of the greatest fallacies that has happened. We were a global melanated planet, which means we were absolutely everywhere, on every land, in every country, in every continent, the countries they created. And, there's been so much that's been done because it's a mental reality, it's a mental world. There's so much that's been done to corrupt and rewrite the story, especially when you see the pictures of who they say the native Indians were. But, the Americas were actually it was like Africa. It was a melanated continent, beloveds. And
I can't categorically say every Nigerian got this talk, but a lot of Nigerians that travel abroad got this talk from their family, where they will sit you down and tell you are going there. Don't go and talk to those black Americans. You just go and get pregnant. You get into drugs. You become the gang banging. They give you that talk. That just go to the white community, find a nice place. They just go and be decent. Stay with the white people. They give you that talk. So when you enter America, you already have a perception of African Americans. You've judged them. And of course, they can see that judgment in your behavior towards them. And they see how you are almost like yes master to the Oyimbos. They see, they're not blind. So when they have that feeling of when they become defensive when you're in their presence, it's because they see that perception you have of them. So I know I got that talk, and a lot of Nigerians got that talk. So we are over there, we are doing well, we are doctors, we are building houses, we are feeling like so we come to the land of the living, we are the land of the plenty, and we are doing well, forgetting that some people sacrificed for you to go there in the first place. So is that acknowledgement that the African American community are expecting of us, especially those of us living abroad in America?
Can I say so?
My people are still distracted, still caught up in the illusions. Anytime I hop on TikTok, I see my people going in on the enemies. We give them too much power. Everybody know what's going on, so they just so upset and angry now. We all are figuring out that we have been lied to about a lot of things. But this spiritual battle been happening for the last couple hundred years. And this disclosure is happening now. And this lets you know that we are victorious in this battle. This new timeline we in belongs to the gods and the goddesses. The enemies doesn't have any control. They don't have any say-so over what we do anymore. With that being said, we have to stop focusing on these enemies so much. It's time for us to focus on the gods and the goddesses. What's our agenda? What's our plans? It's time to tap into that third eye. Tap into your creativity. We are bringing heaven, or the higher dimensions, down to earth right now. There is no more enemies. Most of my people are just fighting with themselves because they haven't started their shadow work. You have to start on your inner workings. Meditate. Have to conquer the enemy within you. The kingdom is here. We are rising. We are living in one of the greatest timelines there ever was. Your ancestors, the prophets, messiahs, they all prophesied about this time right now, when we would take the kingdom back. At this point, all you have to do is survive, family. These people who telling you to go crash out on the enemies is just agents in the matrix.
The ancient Picts of Scotland is said to be the ancestor of the small black race in Scotland. Margaret Murray, in her book called The God of Witches, mentions the dark-skinned Picts. Let you know a lot of our people was dark-skinned, and that witchcraft and druidism. All right, the Picts and the Scots, page 1993, speaks of an ancient dark-skinned pygmy people. Lloyd Lang, in her book called The Picts and the Scots, page 1, 1993, Skard Alive, Historia Norvegia, speaks of ancient dark-skinned pygmy people of Scotland. There were several phenomenal rulers within Europe long before the rise of Scotland, England, Wales, and Ireland. The Egyptian princess Skota, BC 1300, fled Egypt and settled in Caledonia, which her descendants named Scotland in the honor of her name. So Scotland is named after an Egyptian princess? Stop that, man. It says Scotland.
I'm gonna make this real quick. I don't want to show the whole map. Okay, anyway. A lot of people don't believe. There's only 5 federal recognized tribes today, right? Only 5. 5. Okay, now, how many of these tribes are not here anymore? And the people of these tribes are not labeled as African American. And it would be crazy if you find out how many of these tribes are actually African Americans today. Especially down Florida, Georgia, over here in Mississippi, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina. And I didn't put the lines in there because it was just so many tribes. And when we started doing when we started doing the state tribes, it was so many tribes in the state, we couldn't even get them all in. It's like it was crazy. So, I stopped doing maps. This was a very, very detailed process. But like I said, a lot of these tribes are not here anymore. The people was enslaved. And today, these people are so-called African American.
7 alien genes, which coincides with esoteric knowledge and supreme science from the Anunnaki that eradicates Christianity in totality. So with that being said, it is a motherfucking fact that the melanated black woman is God, considering the fact that the first organism on the planet was a prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells extract prokaryotes. Prokaryotes are found inside the black woman's womb, which is also a conductor of melanin through cymatic frequencies, because melanin is an intelligence molecule that gives black women the capabilities to perform parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis is when a woman is able to fertilize and impregnate herself without a man being present. So the whole allegorical story of Adam and Eve is a motherfucking lie, because in science will tell you that the X chromosome is 5 times larger than the Y chromosome, meaning that the man is basically a genetic mutation of the woman. This is why we have nipples and can't produce milk. And this is why our penises is basically an extended clitoris. Now, when you get this book right here called The Lost Book of Enki, it's basically about the beginning story of the Anunnaki. It talks about how the woman, she gave 2.8% of her chromosomes to create man. Now, we were put on this planet. The man was put on this planet to protect the woman. We wasn't put on this planet to oppress or suppress her through white supremacy and religion, because all those things are predicated on the patrilineal system. Now, I'll give an extensive synopsis on the origins of black people and how we have 147 alien genes, which coincides with esoteric knowledge and supreme science from the Anunnaki that eradicates Christianity in totality. So with that being said, it is a motherfucking fact that the melanated black woman is God, considering the fact that the first organism on the planet was a prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells extract prokaryotes. Prokaryotes are found inside the black woman's womb, which is also a conductor.
We want to talk about indigenous people in America or Native Americans. They always dealt with extraterrestrials. They called them the star people. And yes, they were black. This is where the word Indian comes from the Latin word indigo, okay, which means blue-black, and it's a skin color, okay? And so the Indians that you see today are what you call $5 Indians, okay, which are Caucasians, actually white people, okay? And go look up the Dow's Commission, go read the Dow's rolls. Back in the day, white people was allowing other white people to sign the Dow's rolls, saying that they was Native Americans in exchange for benefits and assistance from the government. So all these Indians that own these casinos and own the land, and they got straight hair and they look like goddamn Mexicans and Chinese people and white people, those are what you call $5 Indians. Those are descendants of the people who actually took the land and then acted like they was the people who the land got took from. Black people are the original Indians. Go look it up. Go read Christopher Columbus's diary. Go read anybody's diary. Go read, confirm that they was black people, okay? So we want to get that on deck. And the reason I want to get the history on deck is because it fits right back into the spirituality. Those ancestors who was our ancestors said that we came from the stars. They called them star people. The Egyptians who have been genetically confirmed to be black said that their ancestors came from the stars. The Dogon tribe in Mali said their ancestors came from the stars. The black Nagas of Japan and Asia said their ancestors came from the stars. The black Aboriginals in Australia said their ancestors came from the stars. Black people across the world always identified with their ancestors from the stars, okay? And since I'm saying stars, Star Wars popped in my head, but it popped in my head because Anakin is the word Anunnaki. Anakin name is Anakin Skywalker. The word Anunnaki literally translates to Skywalker or walk the sky. And then the dude who created Star Wars said he got all of his knowledge from Egypt. A Jedi is the word Dehij scrambled. Dehij was spelled, or Deji was spelled D-E-J-I. If you go look it up, a Dehij or a Deji was the bodyguard of a pharaoh. Go look this shit up. Go look it up. Go look it up. Go look it up. And go read Stolen Legacy, okay? And the Greeks in that book tell you that the Egyptians seem to possess what you would call supernatural abilities, okay? So we're not saying people was flying around, but I'm saying that they were doing better phenomenal feats than we are today. And so all of this stuff come from us. But let me get back on track. The reason I'm bringing this up is to show you why it's important to practice the proper form of spirituality. Our ancestors already laid out the blueprint, okay? The Mayans, the Aztecs, the Incas, the Olmecs already laid out the blueprint of who our ancestors was as black. And I'm speaking to black people. I'm not speaking to nobody else. If you're a Greek, go talk to Hercules, okay? But I'm talking to black people since I'm black in this particular video. Our ancestors already laid out who our spiritual and genetic ancestors were, who was responsible for us here. And so why is this important? Now we are committing spiritual treason and turning our back on our creators to practice not even forms of spirituality, religion, which is man-made. Man-made. You worshiping, y'all niggas out here worshiping Santa Claus, man, and Jesus Christ, and Muhammad, and all of these other deities that not only never existed, they are psychological creations of another humanoid organism's construct to enslave you from your own spirituality. So you went from being in tune with the ancestors, being in tune with with entities. You went from being in tune with the spirits of the environment, whether it been the spirit, the forest deities, the ocean deities, you know, the mountain deities. All of these, because every habitat on the planet Earth has a spiritual gatekeeper, you could say, who's the intellectual, let's say, threshold of how to navigate within this environment, okay?
The American Indians of Oklahoma, the original American. This is Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1926. We was already here. we've been here. We had the best tailors. We had our own land. We had our own government. We built all the immaculate buildings all over the world. We are the real Tartarians, the indigenous Indians. I'm Nubi One.